Hello, everybody, and welcome to Aspiring Partners. Today, we are going to talk about network operations with AI and automation. So, AI and automations are becoming increasingly important in whatever we do, and operations is not only is no exception, but I would say it's one of the places where um, AI and automation, which are still not quite 100% mature, they're still developing. It's one of the sort of low-hanging fruits in the sense that there is a lot that can be optimized, and AI is already able to bring its contribution, um, building on a solid network infrastructure. And so it's interesting because operations really it's a good way to showcase what AI can do today, and it will certainly improve. But it's one of the, as I said, a low hanging fruit. So it's very interesting to see what is that we can do, what we can learn from what we used to do in the past, and what to do in the future. And today I am extremely lucky to have Fabian Aranda, who is the AIOps solution architect at VIAVI Solutions. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Fabian he's working at VIAVI Solutions today, but he has a long experience in working in an operator setting. So he brings the whole perspective of really doing the thing, and now helping operators do it as well. But let me stop here because I would like to have Fabian tell us exactly what that means. And first of all, welcome, Fabian, to Sparring Partners.
Thank you, Monica, for the invitation. I have been working on telecommunications for a while, almost 20 years. I have worked on the service provider side, on mobile networks and in fixed networks as well. So I had the opportunity to learn both sides. Most of the companies in telecommunications start one way or another, some on mobile, some on fixed, but now they are consolidating. So I had the opportunity to participate in both. And also I play many functions inside the network operations, all the way from engineering, operations, quality of experience, and now AIOps, where you can start doing all these things much more efficient and in a better way, bringing a lot of benefits for the service provider. So it's for me it has been a long time working on this, and for me bringing all my experience and now see how we can do things better using AIOps is a huge opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, to have the experience not just in the wireless RAN or wireless networks, but fixed as well, it's increasingly important because the network is partly fixed, partly wireless, no matter what you do. So you need to have sort of an end-to-end vision of the network. And in fact, even myself, I've been working more and more on the whole thing. So let's just see, okay, so you have this wide view of the network. So based on your experience, what can be improved, what needs to be improved, and what can be improved?
Okay, yeah. And one thing, Monica, is that mobile networks and fixed networks are very different. They follow the same principle, but the way they are operated is completely different. For mobile, there are a lot of network elements, and then for fixed, there are it is much more relevant each customer, since it is fixed connected to the network. And they both have their own challenges. And this is one of the good things about AI, that you can bring all these automation and be able to target specific solutions for each one of the networks. And I believe the most relevant thing today in terms of automation and AI is the whole incident management process. The whole idea is to become proactive. Traditional network operation, it's mostly reactive. And now you can bring automation and AI to be able to detect network issues in advance, even before impacting the customer, and then trigger actions. So for me, the most of the benefits come from automating this visibility on the network, be able to detect proactively degradation, and then trigger actions as fast as possible. And not only you're going to improve the quality of the service, but at the same time, you are reducing the manual effort on the operation. And by reducing the manual effort, you actually start executing things faster, much better, and consistently.
Absolutely. And I think that this is really a crucial thing because clearly, like, say for network planning, AI is going to be helpful because it provides, a better way to plan for networks. But it's really in the operations where I think we're going to see the biggest change because how many people do you need to hire to do predictive analysis or to solve the problems in a predictive way? I mean, is that even feasible? So forget about the cost. I mean, how many people do you have to hire? How can you do it without having automation and AI doing it?
Yeah, it's and it is not only about that you would need a lot of people, but network complexity, it's continuously increasing as networks evolve. There are much more capabilities that they offer, and it is much more complex to operate them. Networks are no longer static. Networks in the past, you just need to set up the network, optimize the network once,
Yeah.
and then you wait for maybe a few months before again going and start doing some improvement on the network. But now, since networks are highly dynamic, network traffic is changing all the time, and you need to make sure to deliver all the capabilities to the customer at some specific location or time. You need to start taking actions in a daily basis, even every hour. So it is
Mhm.
not just about having the people to do it, but as the complexity increases, it will be impossible to keep the pace bringing people. So it is like automation AI is not something that you want, or that it would be good to have, but it is something that you need, and it will be a necessity from now on.
Yeah, it is a necessity, but at the same time, it seems like uh, both operators and I would say vendors sometimes seem like to be struggling in seeing how to actually get it to work in practice. So while everybody will say yes, we need it, it is not necessarily easy to do it. So as I said, it's a low hanging fruit, but it's still a fruit you have to get properly, and there are potential issues there. So, in your experience, what did you see that are the challenges that we have and how can we address them?
Yeah. So one of the things that I believe is the most difficult is to be able to traduce all what it is available in something that is practical for you to adopt. For example, there is a lot of AI that is being offered as a solution to improve the way you operate. But in reality, it is mostly about identifying what are the activities that you do on a daily basis, that where you are having more errors, where you need to speed up the execution process. And by starting with this is where you are getting most of the benefits. So for example, just making sure that you replace all the visual monitoring of the network by automatic monitoring is a huge improvement, because you will be able to see what is happening, and you will be consistent on how you do it. And then once you decide that something is impacting your network, you will be able to do this every single time. And then you will be able to fix this in the same way for every single problem that you have. Um, so there is where most of the benefits are. Of course, AI will play a crucial role in some specific areas where doing it or doing this manually would be impossible, or doing it with people is going to be impossible. Like anomaly detection, forecasting. There are many machine learning algorithms that will give you a lot of visibility that you is something that you cannot do easily with people.
Yeah, but there's also a huge learning process here. Uh, let's assume you do have a good model. Let's do say anomaly detection. I would imagine in the network you see a lot of anomalies, but you need to find out what anomalies are really relevant. So it's not something that you just plug in and it works. In the sense that you need to learn what is anomaly for you.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that is a good point, because once you, for example, would like to implement anomaly detection in the network, that is something that you cannot do for each single network element that you are monitoring. You need to make sure that whatever you do it because it's meaningful, and also as you get the increased visibility on what is happening, you still have to use people to fix it. I mean, being able to automate the full remediation process is something that is currently being developed, but it's not yet there. You need to make sure that whatever you identify in the network is something that you can fix, and you can it is something actionable in terms of an activity that you can execute, and it's gonna solve a problem. So for anomaly detection, you need to, for example, focus on the what are the most relevant metrics, for example, that have a lot of impact in a lot of customers. And then once you identify an issue, and then you trigger an action, you are sure that this is something that you need to prioritize and it need to be fixed. So there is where, for example, anomaly detection is going to help you, instead of bringing you a lot of work that you cannot transform into actions.
And so how do you prioritize? How do you, I mean, what's the process? Because, ideally you want to get full automation where you just the models know what's wrong and how to fix it. But we're not there yet. I would imagine. You agree, right? We're not there yet. We
Yeah.
go in there. So how do we get there? So we are going to have more human intervention, and not just to have human intervention. I mean, you need human intervention to learn if we can trust it, and also to teach the models to work properly. So how are we going to go about that? And this is like anomaly detection is one example, but that applies to, I would imagine, everything, right?
Yeah, so the key for me is to focus on what is practical to implement today that you can control, and that is actually helping you on the day-to-day basis. And for me, the most relevant is to use automation and AI to enable proactive network operation, meaning that you are able to detect issues and be able to analyze what is causing the problem, and then be able to transform this into an action that is going to help you to solve the problem before impacting the customer. So that is where you need to start. And for that, one of the things is in terms of the network, you need to focus on the domains that there is a more effort required to be able to maintain the network operating at the right levels. For example, in the mobile network, there are many network elements that it would be impossible to monitor and be able to fix every single thing that is happening in the network. And actually, recently, what is happening is that service providers are just focusing on what that they can do, on what is most relevant. So this is where all this automation and intelligence is helping them be able to identify where are the most relevant problems, and uh, what is the root cause that is impacting the service, and be able to focus on solving these issues instead of trying to analyze the whole network and go and fix every single degradation for every single element in the network.
Yeah, and I think that this is actually, you bring up a crucial point, I would say, because so everybody says, as I said before, AI is essential. You need it. It's not a choice. Okay, good. But the AI can help you with everything, and you don't want to be spreading yourself too thin or trying to do everything and not being able to be focused. So the question is, as you mentioned earlier, it's priorities. Understand what needs fixing or what can be improved. So, um, so we talked about how to go about it, but in terms of sort of the higher level strategy, how should operators go? Because okay, they need to find out the most, where they can get better value, but how do they know? How do they find out? How do they pick?
Okay, so one of the key areas where AI and automation is helping right now is in the network operations center. Why? Because it is a process that it's need to be repeated multiple times, where having increased visibility on the network is the key, and it's where, in order to do that, you will need to increase the size of the people, the amount of people that is needed to do that. So eventually, to be able to keep the pace according to the volume of elements in the network, you will have to bring a lot of people. So I believe this is where AI and automation it's currently helping a lot, and where a service provider can focus on. And by fully automating the process of having visibility on the network and going all the way to creating tickets, and even automating the process to resolve these issues on the field. So in this way, you can um, reduce the effort on the day-to-day operation. You can speed up the resolution process, and ultimately, customers are gonna get a better service, more stable and reliable service. Um, After that, I think also network optimization. It's one of the areas where AI and automation is being currently used. Again, based on the complexity of the network. For example, for mobile networks, is getting a lot of highly complex to do network optimization on a daily basis. So that is where also AI and automation are helping to um, moving from reactive optimization to proactive optimization. So in a way that you monitor, and then based on the issues that you detect on the network, you can actually trigger and create a work order for optimization for the optimization team to go and resolve the issues, and not doing this on a reactive way like it was traditionally done.
Absolutely, and I think that this is really crucial. The fact that it's proactive, so you try to get in a position where you improve, you increase efficiency, you improve operations before you get to a point where you have a problem. So avoid the problems from arising in the first bit. What can you give us a little bit of a so clearly that improves network performance. But can you give us some specific examples of how that? What is that? You can do a lot of things. So what are some examples where AI and AI ops shine?
Okay, so I would like to mention one the use case that we recently presented, and it is regarding monitor customer experience. So traditionally, network performance is used in order to try to guess if the customer is getting a good quality of service. But also, crowdsourced data can be used for this purpose. So in this use case, crowdsourced data, which is data collected on the terminals of the customers, is collected. Based on this data, service quality is determined. And then we use this data in order to identify if there is a degradation in a region, for example. And then using topology, you can figure it out what are the network elements that are impacting this quality of service, instead of going and have to check the quality of each network element, which is going to take a lot of time. So using the topology of the network and automatic root cause analysis, for example, you can identify which are the network elements that are impacting this region, and then trigger specific actions on these elements to solve the complete quality of the region that it is impacted. So this is an example about how you use automation in a way that not only reduce the effort, but also allows you to focus on what is relevant, and also reduce the effort on the actions that you need to implement.
Absolutely. And this is really important because clearly, what the only thing that we care in general in the industry, no matter where you are, is the user experience. It's not the fact that the network works well. I mean, clearly, you need a good network to have good experience, but it's the experience that really matter. And that's actually hard to qualify, quantify, and know what's going on. So this is really interesting because you finally are able to put all these elements together: topology, user experience, and network performance, which up to now it's very hard because we have all the data there. The data is there, but to put it together, to connect it, we just don't have that skills, and we are. But here there is more than just technology or AI or automation. You also traditionally you have different people that care about customer experience, topology, and network, and so we need to pull it all together. So it's more than just technology; it's how the processes work, how the people work together, the human element. So how do you see that to work together? So how can you get all those models, all those capabilities that we have now in not only in the network but in the organization?
Yeah, that is a good question, Monica, because when people talk about AI, as you said, it is like this is the like a magic solution for all your problems. But actually, all is connected to the processes in the organization. And for example, in the case of incident management, if you don't have like a standardized process, then it's going to be extremely difficult to become efficient, even if you are using AI of automation. So one of the other two components relevant in this equation, it's the process and the people also. So you need to make sure that you standardize the processes, you improve the processes, and you reduce the complexity on the processes that you are executing. You need to make sure that people is aware of how these processes are executed, and then you leverage on the tools to be able to standardize and execute these processes consistently in time. So this is why it is important not only to have to bring AI and automation to the organization, but also to have the right processes to make sure that they are simple, that everybody knows how they are executed, and then let the solutions to do it or to allow them to run these processes in the same way every single time.
How do you do that? How hard is it to do it? Because it just sounds like, okay, you want to make it simple. Okay, good. But it might not be so simple to make it simple, if you know what I mean, in the sense that you need to basically change the way you run things. And there are people there with experience, so you want to leverage their experience, but they also need to learn to use new tools. They need to operate differently. How hard is it to do that? Change is always hard.
I think it's this is something I believe is common for organizations to start evolving in different directions. I believe that recently many of the network domains are getting together. For example, talking about network operations and IT operations. In the past, these were two different areas, usually operated by different teams. So they have different processes. So uh, taking the challenge of consolidating these, for example, the incident management process in just one for IT and network, it is extremely difficult, but because people is used to do it in a different way. But it doesn't mean that you cannot consolidate it. So I believe it's the challenges are more related to be able to change the mindset of the people about how things are traditionally executed, be able to demonstrate that this can be done um, together, define the process, show the people that it works, and then um, start bringing new domains to the same equation. And at the end, you're going to see that this is going to facilitate the process. So, yeah, I don't believe it's a technical challenge. It's more to related to transform how the people is has been doing things in the past, and what are the new way to the new way that it is proposed to do it.
Now, you work with a lot of operators, so I don't want to have names here, but how, what do you see out there in terms of, are they doing well? I mean, what are the challenges they're facing in this context?
Okay, uh, I think the main challenge that they are facing, I mean, service operators today, is that they know that automation and AI is there. They have been trying to do it for maybe the past few years. The automation that they have, it would be pretty fragmented. Like there are many people with a lot of initiative doing automation, but these are like isolated initiatives that actually at the end are going to bring you more complexity, because the key is not just around automation and AI, but how to do it in a way that has a huge impact on transforming the way you operate, and how do you do it in a sustainable way. So the challenge for them right now is to identify what are the things that they should be doing right now, where they should adopt AI and automation, and then how to make it sustainable. So if you figure it out, that then AI and automation is not going to become also a problem. That is something that is happening today, but is going to really start helping you to do things easier and better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that what you're pointing out is that AI and automation need to be brought in rather than brought on the side, because sometimes I think that we're seeing less of that, but especially a year or two ago it would be like you run your network and then you have AI on top of it, and that doesn't then you create a duplication, or you can I think that that's why you went, it's like you add complexity rather than reducing it because you have something else. Well, I think AI and automation has to fit in with what you have, so it's more organic. I think is that what you.
Yeah, and actually, one of the things that is happening is that automation is used to replace whatever you were doing manually.
Hmm.
So it is like you have 100 things that you were doing manually, then you are implemented 100 automation workflows. So that is not the right way to do it,
Right.
because you are just, I mean, but automating 100 processes or 100 activities, you are not simplifying the way you do things, right? So you need to figure it out. How do you replace all these 100 tasks by just one automation process? For example, we are using AIML for network for event correlation in the network, meaning that when you have multiple events in the network happening at the same time, you can either define some fixed rules to identify what is causing a problem, or you can use AIML to say, okay, I am identifying a pattern that it's causing a problem, and then every single time after this happens, I'm going to be able to identify the same behavior, and I already know how to fix it. So then you are replacing many fixed rules that you were using in the past by just one single process, which is AIML correlation, to start identifying patterns, and then solving these um, based on the root cause that the same algorithm is helping you to figure it out, the solution. So it is about using automation in a smart way, not just by replacing manual tasks.
Absolutely, and I think that you're pointing out to something really essential here that is often or most of the time lost in the translation, so to say, which is AI is not us smarter or us more efficient or more memory or whatever. It really allows you to see patterns that we were not able to see because we have obvious limitations in terms of what how much information you can keep in your mind and process, no matter how smart and experienced you are. As a human, we have very strong strict limitations in terms of computation, and those models can be much more powerful in ways that we will never be able to. So it's not just doing what we do faster or better, but do something, solve the problem, see the problems differently. And I think
Yes.
this is, I think if I understand you, this is what you're getting at. So it's not just a shortcut. It's a better, it's qualitatively better.
Yeah. So actually, it is quite important to be able to know where to use AI, for example.
Yeah.
Not like just adopting AI in all the things that you are doing, because again, that is going to bring more complexity. So, for example, there is a use case where you can predict in the how many days you will have a network element in a place where it's going to impact the service that you are delivering to your customers. So there is where AI using forecasting is going to help you to identify that. And then you know that is something relevant, and it is worth it to adopt AI, and then have to maintain the algorithm running in a way that is really identifying the right issues, and not like having 100 algorithms running, and then you will have to spend a lot of time and effort trying to make sure that all this is running in the right way, and at the end is not really getting any value for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you need to be, careful. Are there some areas where it's either that AI is not mature yet, or it will never be really helpful?
um oh, that's a good question. I have never thought about it. um I believe in general, the main thing is to avoid to use AI, whatever is not really helping you, or you are not able to measure the benefits. Otherwise, it's going to be something that you will want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, you need to, as we said before, you need to understand where is that you can do it. So you need to have a way to quantify without using AI.
Mm.
In fact, before you like, where is the problem? What is that I'm not doing as well as I could?
Yeah,
Which is in theory you can say everything I can improve everywhere, but clearly every operator would know what are the areas that need improvement and then see if
yeah,
it's worth it. Because I guess that the risk is like, you invest a lot of money, but an operator has a limited amount of money that you can invest. So the question is how to invest it in the most efficient way. So that's
yeah.
the challenge right there.
Yeah, that is a good point, because in order to bring AI to your operation, as you said, you need to invest in the tools, and also be able to, you need to transform processes and people. So you will need to do some investments. And traditionally, what people claims that can do with AI is to improve quality of experience, reduce churn, for example, or improve NPS, like the Net Promoter Score. But those are metrics that are extremely difficult to measure. And even if you got some improvement on that, it's going to be extremely difficult to be able to tie this to the actions that you implement. So I believe in order to put together a business case for AI and automation, you need to start with where you can show that you are actually bringing concrete benefits, like reducing to time to solve a problem. For example, speeding up the process to find the problem on the field using all this information, and be able to reduce the effort of the field people trying to figure it out where the problem is, but you are telling them where exactly it is. so they can do it faster and they can spend less time doing this. So there are metrics like the amount of effort that you are reducing on the day-to-day operation, how faster you are able to resolve issues, um, that are going to help you to put together a business case so you can support the investment that you need. And actually, by replacing a lot of effort, manual effort on the day-to-day operation, it's something that can easily support the business case to be able to purchase the tools that you need for this and to be able to do the transformation that it is required as well.
Now, business case, since you brought up the subject. So some people would say, I wouldn't, but I'm just devil's advocate here. That AI requires so much computational power and energy, resources, investments that at the end it's just not worth it. Or at least you have to prove that it's worth it. What do you say to that?
Yeah, that's something that and it is actually one of the challenges that the I believe the service providers are facing, because once they get these solutions, these AI and automated automation solutions, what they are trying to do is to do as much as possible, like monitor every single element, like do anomaly detection for every single KPI. Actually, with this, you're going to end up with a lot of infrastructure, with a lot of cost, and it's going to be there's not going to be a business case that supports this. So again, the key is to make sure that whatever you implement AI and automation, you are able to measure what is the benefit that you are getting, and you can use these outcomes into actionable activities that actually give you a benefit. And whatever this is not happening, just stop doing it. So as people is adopting, as service providers are adopting AI and automation, they have to, at the same time, keep track of the value that they are getting by adopting AI and automation, and making sure that is adding value on every single process that they are where they are using it. And whatever this is not really adding value, just stop doing it, because then it's not going to be sustainable in terms of spend in OPEX, in infrastructure, and in terms of the people that you will require to maintain all this running.
Absolutely. So sustainability means, in this case, be realistic about what you can and should be doing. Don't go overboard, right?
Exactly.
Okay, now let me flip this around, because we often talk about, what is that operators should be doing, and this is both vendors and analysts, right? I mean, we just say, well, that's what guys should be doing, but there is a lot of we have to do too, analysts and vendors included. We need to. So it's not only operators need to change their ways; we have to change our ways too. So let me ask you, what is that at Viavi you're doing differently to address this? Because yeah, you can say, well, you guys should do differently, but I'm sure that you also run things differently within the company on how you develop solutions, how you help operators.
Yeah. So one of the things that I have saw in the past, Monica, is that um, usually the AI and automation solutions come to you, to the service provider, and ask, "What do you want me to automate?" And I mean, the service provider might have multiple ideas, but by doing all of this, it doesn't mean that you're gonna really improve the way you operate. As I explained before, you are just going to start automating things that you do that might not be even relevant, right? So one of the things that it is important to do to differentiate is to have a specific knowledge in the network domains, because if you have this knowledge, you know where are the main challenges that each service provider is facing, and then you can focus on the use cases that are going to add more value. So by having a specific knowledge on the domains like mobile, fixed, transport, and being able to combine this knowledge between domains, you can identify what are the most relevant things that you can do and that are going to actually helping you on the day-to-day operation. So it's about having the knowledge, being able to traduce this into actionable use cases and meaningful use cases. And also, the other advantage of the solution is to be able to implement just the right scope, not like getting all a huge solution that is going to cost you a lot of money, and it's going to take a lot of time for you to figure it out how to start getting value of this solution. But by adapting use cases for specific domains, by getting just the right scope, you will be able to start delivering benefits in the short term, and then be able to increase the scope. So I believe that is one of the big differences of the VIAVI solution for AIOps.
Absolutely. And I think that this is actually quite important because, at the very, very high level, everybody is saying the same thing, all the vendors. But there is a lot of difference, and so that's why, I wanted to, talk about it in the sense of how you go about it. What is that you bring to the table? And as a vendor, you have the opportunity to learn from all the operators that you've been working with in the past and use that experience to move forward. And clearly, in the same way that some operators are more successful than others, some vendors would do it differently than others. So, how do you see that? What are the, sort of, can you point out specific things that you do that you think are particularly valuable to operators?
Yeah, so I believe one of the common mistakes when adopting AI and automation is to try to do a lot at the beginning. For example, I would like to automate all the incident management process for all domains, and then you spend like a year trying to deliver something that is not working maybe as expected. So I believe one of the key um, things is to focus on what is most relevant at the beginning. Make sure that you can deliver benefits like in 3 months, so you can show the organization that what you are doing is actually helping you, that whatever money you are putting on this, you are actually getting this recover pretty easy, so you can scale up. And yeah, I believe this is the most relevant thing for the service provider to do at the beginning.
Yeah, and I think that this kind of realistic approach is very powerful because, this is true for every new thing we have in telecoms. And I guess that not just telecoms, it's just that where we work on that, you tend to have a lot of hype and you just want to do everything, and then you overdo it, or you get caught into like trying to do too much and then you don't get a whole lot done. So you want to be, more like, okay, what is that we can do today? And then, you know, gradually move forward. And if I can go back to the sort of like the hype, or what is the hot things, there are two things right now, which is agents and intent-based networking. So let's start with the agents. Clearly, there is a huge amount of potential, very good. At the same time, I get somewhat of a feeling that wherever you have a problem, you put an agent. which is not a bad idea. I mean, it's not intrinsically bad, but it can be a cover up. It's like, okay, if the model cannot do it, let's just have an agent that will solve the problem. And then 6 months from now, we'll figure out something else. How do you see the agents fit in into this whole landscape?
Currently, most of what you are doing in terms of AI automation, it's something that you create to solve a specific problem that you have today. But the issue is that the network is not static. The network is constantly changing services, the quality, how to make sure that the customers are getting the right quality is something that is changing all the time. So the key is how do you maintain all these automation updated and giving you the most of the value possible. So here's where I believe agents are going to replace or do that task, making sure that you are not creating these automation workflows, for example, just one, just once, and then you forget about them, and then you realize that they are not effective. So you can use agents in order to start defining what are the things that you want to accomplish. And then the agent should be able to come up with the best outcome. And then you focus on improving that outcome. So you make sure that the agent is going to help you to maintain whatever automation or AI you already adopt, are going to simplify that process because it would be extremely difficult to have the right people to make sure that the outcome is going to be the same. But instead, if you are training your agent in the right direction and making sure that you are having the better outcome, you're going to be able to maintain this process, delivering the best possible solution without a lot of effort. So I believe in general, most of the automation initiatives that you are incorporating into your network will be supported by agents that are going to make sure that you get the best outcome with the minimum effort.
Now, best outcome sounds like a good thing, but if let's say we are two agents, you're agent one and agent two, what is best outcome for you may be different from what's best outcome for me because I'm there trying to improve, say, energy efficiency, and you're there trying to get better video quality. And maybe the two of them, they're both good targets to have, but the results might conflict. How do we think about those kind of things?
Yeah, I believe that there's going to be always a compromise between the quality of the network and to make sure that that the network is efficient or is running efficiently with the less cost possible. Um, so here's where you can combine both um, targets together and trying to get the best outcome out of both solutions. One of the advantages of this new approach is that you can execute and then measure and be able to make changes in order to improve or change the outcome in the direction that you are looking for. So this is, I believe, this is one of the challenges that is going to continue, and but with AI and ML, it's going to be easier to do it. But yeah, it's going to be always a challenge.
We're gonna see all the agents fighting with each other. But okay, let's talk about intent. because that's actually I find it's kind of hard because like what is intent anyway? But it actually has a very specific meaning, which is more than what you think when you do something intentionally in the outer world. So how is intent shaping all of this? What's the role of intent?
Okay, so right now, what is happening is that you're replacing or you're using AI and ML in order to replace something that you have in mind in terms of how do you solve it. So you already figured it out in your mind, what is the solution. So then you automate the process to make this happen. This is how automation is working today. But then you are limited what you have in mind. So what about instead of that, you just tell the system what is the outcome that you would like to get without telling them how to do it. So that is where intent becomes relevant and defining how to do it. So then you are not limited to your knowledge or the way you do things that is usually tied to the past, but let the AI algorithm to figure it out how to do it and then improve out of the outcome that you are getting. So I believe here is where really AI is going to make a difference. We are not there. It's going to take a lot of time to get there. But at the end, this is how automation or autonomous networks should be will be working. You just tell them what is the for example what is the SLA that you want to accomplish, or what is the target for a specific metric, and the system is going to be able to figure it out. How to implement this a solution for this problem, and make sure that you reach the target without telling them how to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It actually reminds me, in chess, when AI start beating up the chess masters, that AI sometimes would come up with a move that was just completely weird. I mean, and then they won, and then it won, and I think that that's exactly what you're talking about, right? I mean, so it's a move that the master, the chess master, would not have done. And in fact, when I think it was Kasparov or somebody else, they saw the movie like, what the hell, this is no good, why are they doing that? And then they went on and lost. And I think that this is exactly the thing, right? So you might end up optimizing the network, say, in a way that doesn't make any sense. You look at it, it's like, oh my God, what's that? And then it turns out that it's actually good because it's not something that you were able to think about it in a step function.
Exactly.
So that's what we want to, that would be, even more valuable than just replacing what we currently do. Um, our time is almost up, but so I wanted to ask you, okay, so this is all work in progress. We're learning a lot, vendors, analysts, operators, everybody's learning a lot in all this. Uh, what's next? Where is that we should put our effort in a sort of longer term? What is that we cannot do today that we need to work on more?
So I believe it's extremely important to have a roadmap in mind. AI and automate to adopt AI and automation is not something that happen from one day to the next. You need to have you have to take the decision. You have to be aware that this is something that it needs to be done. That is not something that you want to do, but they have something that you have to do, because otherwise you will not be able to compete at least efficiently. So eventually you're not going to be able to um, uh, continue in this business. So I believe it's important to have a roadmap to make sure that you can bring the resources to start this transformation. Have specific targets for each year in terms of what you want to accomplish. Um, Focus on what is practical, what it's bringing you measurable, what is bringing you a value that you can measure, and focus on what is most relevant. I believe this is what all the service provider should be doing right now to make sure that every year they are going to keep increasing the scale and reducing the effort and becoming more efficient and delivering best quality of service to the customers.
Absolutely. A lot of exciting work and challenges and opportunities ahead. So to be continued. So Fabian, thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you, Monica, for inviting me.